move might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, alpha male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
It's your boy, 51 Spade, alpha male G-O-D, the ninja you love to hate.
Two exciting topics tonight. The first one is the stigma of the woman making more money than the man. And the second topic is your partner, your spouse, your lover as your wingman. That's going to be really fun. Let's tackle the first topic of the night, which is the stigma of a woman who makes more money than the man. I'll start us off just because I've been in both. I've been in a relationship where I wouldn't say I was kept, but my guy had a little bit of change. And then I've been in the position where I was the breadwinner and I had a guy that just didn't do anything. So, I've been on the spectrum of both, so I don't really think I can personally address the stigma because I never had one. I never had a chance to really have one. But I can see how there is a stigma because usually there's a lot of negativity associated with a woman who pays all the bills just because the guy is usually not worth that type of effort. Other than that, to me, I don't think there should be a stigma. I think it's okay for a woman to be held of her household as long as that doesn't cross over into being aggressive or wearing the pants in the household. So again, I just don't think there should be a stigma. I think it's rather silly. As long as the parties involved have value, then it doesn't matter who makes the most.
So since you was in both situations, you had to feel a different way. So in the first scenario where the guy made money, did you made money or did you not make anything?
No, I made money. I worked.
But he made more money. So how did it feel that he made more money and then you made less?
I want to say I can't say there was a power struggle because I'm a submissive person, so there was never any struggle for power.
So not one time did you think like, damn, he make more money than me, I have to do something?
I mean, it may have motivated me to be better. Yeah, it made me want to be a better person because his bank account was great and his credit was great and I was still very young and didn't have any of that stuff established, so it motivated me. Yeah, but there was never a power struggle. There was never a time where I was just like, well, he's gonna treat me like shit because I ain't shit and he is shit. I've never had that frame of mind.
So when you was making more money than the guy and he was making less money than did you feel a certain way?
I felt like he was a piece of shit. That's because there was no value there. Listen, I just said that if there was value in the partners, then there's nothing wrong with that. He had no value. Him himself was not valuable. If you're not working and not making any money, but you're valued in my household, that means you fixing the roof, you cutting the grass, you taking the dog out, you getting me off, most importantly. You know what I'm saying? You spending time. We're going on vacations. I'm not adding up who's paying the tab because I have a person that is now giving me something of value. He's giving me companionship. He's giving me love, security. I don't got to call a maintenance guy. He does everything. That's his portion. That is the same. You cannot put a value on someone's time and someone's effort. If he's showing effort and giving his time, then that is the same as the $50,000 I got in the bank.
So, but when you chose him, because at some point in time he became not shit. So when you chose him, it seemed like the financial thing was what came into play. So I'm not being funny, but I'm just saying, like, when you chose him, did you know you made more money than him then? Or did he make it seem like we on an even playing field?
I knew.
You knew what?
I knew that I was more established. I wouldn't say... I like using the word established because sometimes it's not about money. Sometimes it's about your situation. You can have a stable situation.
With those words, entanglement,
what do you mean? It's not
established.
It means something to the conversation.
Got you.
Because I might not have a big savings account, but I'm stable. I got my own car. I don't own my home, but I pay rent.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm stable, and at that point that I'm I'm talking about, I don't want to say that I had $1 million because I didn't, but my life was very, very stable, and I think stability is also an attraction, because you don't meet a person and be like, damn, I bet she got a nice bank account at Wells Fargo. No, you look at the type of car she drives, how she dresses, her nails and her hair done. You know what I'm saying? Is she always in the passenger seat, or are we always meeting up at her homegirl house? That could be because she ain't got her own place. So what I'm saying, you're doing certain things and you checking out like, okay, this chick pretty stable. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you become attracted to first. And I don't think men are actually wrong for that. Even though they're looking at something tangible to make them talk to you, but why wouldn't you look? Because that's like me, a guy asking me out on a date and he riding with his homeboy. But my question is are you picking me up? Because you riding with your homeboy now, I don't know what your situation is. So I need to ask some second and third level questions to find out he's not going to be pulling up in his homeboy whip to come get me.
What's wrong with that? If he pull up in the homeboy?
If you're stable and you have a certain frame of mind and how you running things, that's not conducive to your situation. Now you're just saying, look, I'm just lonely, and even though he walking right now, I need to get fucked, so it's going to do. You know that's going to be a problem later because he's going to borrow your car. So don't go there if you don't have to. If you don't have to, don't go there. If you meet a person and they had a car, then their car broke down and you want to help them out, that's a whole nother ball game. But if you meet a motherfucker walking, don't get mad when he's driving your car next week.
I get it. I mean, I totally get it. So I'm going to tackle a couple of different things, a couple of different ways. Not too long ago, we did a show on double standards. And...
Here we go.
Huh?
Here we go.
Here we go about what? I ain't even saying that yet. Okay. See, you already on the defense. You already on the defense. You. How? I'm just finna make some points, and that's all.
Okay.
So I just want to say this: in both of those men that you were with, one, I would suspect that it was that most women, when men have money, it's a security thing. So you automatically felt, is women often say, safe. Now, you picked this other guy for whatever reason, but you knew that, because you said, I'm established. You said, I'm established, so you knew that he didn't really have like what you had, but you still continue to go forward with that. I did. So I'm bringing up the word double standard in the very first thing, as far as like, I noticed that a lot of times with women, it's like y'all often say the word 50-50 or established, and you pick the person. So I'ma just say that a lot of times when money comes into play, I'ma say for guys, if we have stuff, I don't think guys are always throwing around the word mine. Like, we don't throw around words like, well, you spending my money, or that's my car, or that's my home. I'm not saying all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all, and I'm not saying that it don't happen. But I do notice that a lot of time when women have shit, they be like, I want to do it my way. Or what bills do you pay? You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, like, if you in a relationship, throwing those type of words out at an individual, because it's like, if we won, then in those type of statements that you making, you start separating yourself. Like, well, this is mine, like this is my car, or this is my house, or these are my kids. Well, the kids I understand, but right. But in that case, you know, I feel like it's a little double standard, because a lot of times when women run into powerful men, then y'all automatically submit. But then when it comes to you saying, well, I make more money than this person, now does it matter to the man? I'm going to go on the record and say, at a new age, not old age, but in this nuance, I'm going to say it doesn't matter. Because a lot of times, men ain't looking for that fucking house, stay-at-home mom or housewife or shit like that. Like, we actually are more than likely looking for a 50-50. Like, I don't need you to make as much money as me. And if you make more money than me, I feel like I could bring just as much shit to the table, and you know, we can half bills, or I can delegate bills, or I can do those type of things. So that's why I said one. But you can't do that when you have a woman saying, well, this is my shit, or this is my car, this is my whip, this is that. Like, if it's your shit, then we ain't in a relationship.
I agree 100%, and that's why I said there's that thin line between the woman being powerful and still wanting to wear the pants. That is an issue. I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to do that in the relationship with the guy who had money, and I never wanted to do that in the relationship the guy didn't have money. I would be willing, if we're going out to dinner or we're going shopping, I would be willing to say, hey, I got this, but here's my debit card, because I didn't want to be in the store looking like a sugar mama. Like, he's pulling my shit and swiping every time. So I would just politely, before we left the house, we're leaving the house today, you know, I'm doing good. We're gonna spend my commission. You know, let's ball. Got $1,000. We just gonna spend today. I don't want to pull out the card and swipe it. I let him do it, and that's my way of, okay, I got the money, but I still want to feel like I'm being provided for. I still want to feel like you still got us at the end of the meal and at the register at the store. Not all the time. I'm just saying that.
But when you feel a certain way,
if that's the culture in our relationship.
Okay.
If the culture in our relationship is you are delivering pizzas on the weekend and I'm working a corporate job, I'm making $100,000 a year and you're making only $28,000 a year, I'm gonna probably let you pay for the movies and the popcorn going into the movies, but I'm gonna pay all the heavy hitting stuff. So of course, if we're going on vacation, before we even leave the crib, here's the card. That's another word that I like to consider the word consideration. You can't be at home, you managing everything, you making the money. You're that smart. You're making $100,000 a year, and it doesn't cross your mind that y'all getting ready to get on a cruise ship, and it doesn't cross your mind to slip the debit card or order an extra debit card for your boo. So he
I'm gonna go with a no on that one right there.
That's crazy to me.
I'm gonna go with a no.
That's crazy.
Go with a strong no on that too.
I'm just a consider, and it could be the submissive woman in me.
And I
had a father who ran my household. It doesn't matter whose check came in that Friday. My daddy got it.
I get it. Now, I don't feel like a lot of women were raised like that, because I'ma say that when they making their own money, and like I said, I gotta bring in nuance, new age today. They feel like they don't gotta listen to nobody. They don't have to answer to nobody. Like they don't have to answer to their man, even knowing that they with their man. And that's more than likely why they can't keep a man, because that idea itself, it sounds good, and I praise you for doing that. But if you line up 20 goddamn women and say that, and say, hey, which one of y'all make more money than y'all men? Would y'all slide y'all debit card? They'll look at you like Scooby-Doo.
But that goes to the point that the people that they're with and doing that for may not have any value. They're not bringing any value in. They're just now rich women, and
So my question would be, why are you with them? So that's what brought me back to, you was with this guy that made you safe, and then you said, well, with this guy, I knew I made more money than him. So at some point in time, if he didn't have value, so that's why I was asking, like, so was it the money or it was just the things that he did
I will
that
admit
devalued
to this. I will admit to this. Once I started making money and really changing my environment, the places I went, the people I were hanging with, I just felt like I deserved more than a couch potato. I'm not judging, but I'm saying now I'm making a whole bunch of bread. I got a beautiful home. I can't even get you to go with me to take the fucking dog to the vet. What the fuck are you here for? I will say that money did give me a little bit of aggression that I would not have normally had.
Was you getting fucked?
I was not.
See, that's the problem right there. See, a lot of that bass will come out your voice if that nigga was throwing that dick right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's typically what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I find a lot of women in scenarios that give up money fast. But you know what? He fucked me. Like, if you see the size of this thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a total different scenario with that big dick energy.
A big dick is something that's of value. Don't attack me, ladies. But when I said we needed him to be of value, I was talking about the penis too.
Okay.
I did say get me off. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
So yeah, there are some men who are kept. They don't work or they got a part-time job, but they taking care of that powerful, rich woman. She don't want to look nowhere else, go nowhere else. She want that dick there. So him being home all day is acceptable to her. That's a value to her. She might not even want that nigga to go nowhere. She might just want him to lay up all day, make sure your dick hard when I come home. We good. That's cool. If that's the understanding, because to her that is a value. That hard dick that she came home to is the equivalent of $50,000 in the bank. Hello.
Okay. I'm not knocking that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for one, I'm not sure, and this is for the audience, especially the guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I was taught, if anything, when you coming up, Pops always said, make sure that pipe game is on point. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women don't understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you get your first son, and when you get your son, and then the nurse in there is like putting his diaper on, they be like, God damn. You be like, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have it. Like that. That's
you know, and it's weird to sit here and put so much value on sex, and it's ironic because the person that we're speaking of that I was dating when I was making the most money in my career, he would say that to me. Is everything about sex? If I complained about the sex, that's how they call it gaslighting. He turned the issue around on me. Now because I'm not satisfied, you're now turning it around on me and saying that I think our relationship is just based on sex. And he used that actually against me. But I should have been strong enough then to say, sex is value. Your dick is value. That's why you're here and I go to work. That's why this AC run all damn day while you sitting up here playing fucking video games. Because the dick is good. That's why you're here. So now, make sure the dick remains good.
Okay. But the question would be, you kept him, but did he know his dick was trash? Because he might have thought like it was good, so that's why he was putting in bare minimum.
Even if, because it wasn't about whether the dick was good, he couldn't keep it up. You can have I guess good sex still equates to not only size, but it equates to how long you can do it and how much you want to do it. So not only did you not fuck me good, you didn't fuck me enough. So it was a lot going on where he wasn't bringing any value. You're not paying any of the bills, and you're not even getting me off. So you're here for what exactly?
So your bottom line is, if the woman makes more money than the man, it still shouldn't be an issue, but the man has to bring value.
He has to bring value to the table, and it doesn't have to be monetary. Your time is way worth more than what we have in the bank, all of us put together, because you can get money back. Time you can't. So if you're putting in your time in a relationship and you're nurturing that relationship and being there for, I don't care if y'all never leave the house, if you're sitting there with her every day for 365 days a year watching a show at 8 o'clock, you are investing an hour of your time every day that you are never gonna get back. That has value. Y'all should stand on that, just like we should stand on the fact that, nigga, I need to bust a nut. And that needs to be on your priority list. It should be at the top of the fucking list, because that is value to us. Maybe it shouldn't be, but at my age, in my demographic, for me and my group, it's important to us. When we were 18, maybe that's where I get the idea that it shouldn't be all about sex, because that's the message. Oh, you could date someone without having sex. Relationships aren't about sex. Bullshit. It is about sex right now. It is a lot about sex, about being, because I think at this age, you've already checked the box. You know what you want to do, a career. You got your house, you got your car, your kids are going away. You have your plan. Now you want to just vacation and nut. That's it. You have everything else together.
Vacation and nut.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's some women out there really have their shit, their T's crossed and I's dotted. There's nothing else to do but travel and get fucked. What is wrong with that? Especially if she got money in the bank. What is wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And it shouldn't be no problem. Exactly. And it shouldn't be a problem telling him, hey, Leroy, call Pizza Hut and take the next 3 weekends off, because we're going to Europe for a month. You understand what I'm saying?
You gotta make sure you got that dough.
And she's paying the tab. But he is also saying, I'm taking off job. He makes a paycheck. It might not be a lot, but he is calling his boss and saying, hey, I'm going on vacation. He is taking his fucking time off of his goddamn job to go on vacation with you. So don't throw back in his face, I paid for the vacation. Bitch, I took off work. I might only be missing $7.25 an hour, but I'm still fucking missing it. That is value, and I think just men need to have more of that stance, and women don't need to be afraid either.
Well, I think men do have that stance if you're talking about a man, like a real man. I'm not just talking about they have a nutsack. I'm talking about actually being a real
man.
Yeah, right. I'm talking about actually being a man, because there's no way that I can meet a a woman that makes more money than me, and I'm intimidated by the fact that she makes more money than me.
Right.
Like, I'm a very smart individual. I have a lot of potential, and a lot of times that equate to me catching up with her. I might not be where you at in your race,
right,
but I can catch you in the race. And that's how a real man is gonna think about that. And a lot of men now, like, I'm not saying there's not men out there that like, like a homemaker or someone that just stays at home, but I think men now don't want that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it gives women a whole lot of free time to be on your ass. So we prefer that they do work.
That they go to work.
You know what I'm saying? Because when they ain't got nothing but time on their hands and they at home once 12 o'clock or 1 or 2 o'clock hit and they done cleaning, the texts and calls will start coming, and they don't even care if you at work. Like, baby, I'm at work. You do know this, right? I'll be home at 5.
Well, that boils down to the woman having, if there's a woman that's in a relationship with a powerful guy that has the money, she still has to have purpose. She still
and that's what I'm saying.
Have,
I would still want them to, like, you have any admirations in life, something you want to do,
now would be the time.
A hobby you want to turn into something, then I think the guy should go ahead and help them. And if it's in reverse, I would think that if the woman is making a lot of money, you might want to ask the guy, like, what does he want to do? Do you have anything as far as like business that you want to do? And that's something that y'all can help grow together. And he can help him get his own paper. Exactly.
And I think that philosophy should be, a lot of people will come up with that philosophy if I ever make it big. So if I ever win the lottery, I don't want to give everybody $200,000. I want you to tell me what you've always wanted to be, and I will help you do that so you can make your own change.
Exactly.
You're not going to be just pulling out of my bank account. And I think that's a big thing. I actually appreciate you for pointing that out. If there are couples out there that do have that type of thing going on, where you have someone who is ambitious but doesn't have a lot of money, and someone in a situation to have a lot of money, then they should certainly say, let's talk about your ambitions and let's pour some of this money that I have into what you got.
Because I don't think a lot of those conversations go down a lot, because when someone makes a lot of money, and I'm gonna say particularly women say, like you said, I want to go vacation and that, now, but they also do shit like, well, I don't want to take this individual because I'm going to have to pay for everything. Or I don't want to take this person because, I don't feel like I don't want to carry both of this load. And when I say to women that say that type of shit, is like, if you feel that way, then you shouldn't be fucking with that person. To me, you just shouldn't be fucking with them, because if that's your first thought process, that I don't want to carry this person, but you in a relationship with that person, then you shouldn't be fucking with them, because that wouldn't be a thought to a man. Like, a man don't like take this woman and just be like, hey, I'm finna take you over to Hawaii, and be like, well, she can't pay for shit in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can. Remember that value shit that you was talking about?
Yeah.
That pussy is value.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? So just come on.
But again, I'm glad you said the word value, because that's how I was going to rebuttal you. The person that says, hey, I really want to go to Jamaica. It would be nice if I took homeboy, but he probably can't pay for himself. You wouldn't be having that thought if that person was of value to you, because at the point you're talking about going to Jamaica, you can't see yourself in Jamaica with nobody else but that person who you value so much. So it has to boil down to the way the person values you. If you have that much value, it's not even a thought. Now, I will say this. There are some of us who are damaged, because I've met someone who's of great value to me. I can meet that person all day, and he deserves this, and he deserves everything I did for all them. But because I did it for all them, it's a problem for me to do it for the right guy, because I keep seeing myself being alone after paying a bill, or being abandoned after I've put so much time and money into a situation, and that kind of stuff doesn't go away. Now, is it the new person's fault? No. The person needs to seek therapy and do some self-reflection.
Exactly what I was about to say. That therapy.
It's not the fault, but let's at least acknowledge that a person that has gone out of the house and been raped every time they left is not going to leave the house easily. Every time you went out the door and someone punched you in your shit, you're gonna be weary about going back outside. It doesn't matter if you have to. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You might even go out there, but you gonna wait an hour or two. You gonna change some shit around because you're like, what can I do to get out this door without being fucking sucker punched? And that could be what those type of men are encountering. They may be of high value, nice, kind, considerate, would never use anybody. But if that person is damaged, it's just no way really around that you could do. I don't think there's anything that person could do. Is that somebody that needs a little bit of self-help. No. I don't think that person should be held accountable.
Not self-help. Not self-help. They need to go see a therapist.
But that's considered getting self-help. It's still you saying, this is what I'm doing to help myself.
Yeah, but we have a lot of women that be saying, I'm working on myself, and it ain't translating. So you need to go see professional help to make sure that you're getting, because I feel like if you see a professional help, you won't roll into those type of scenarios to begin with. And that's why I asked you, like, even while you was picking the guys, did you feel a certain way? That's actually why I even started like that. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like sometimes when you meet individuals, just to show you the difference between a man and a woman, like, there's no woman I can meet and she's just like, well, I'm worth $200 billion. I'm still gonna look at it like, is this pussy $200 billion worth? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna really make a difference to me whether she got 0 cent or 2 billion cent. But I think women look at it a lot different, because you're looking at the mate and saying, okay, where is he gonna lead us?
Because we're looking for something long term. Sometimes you guys aren't long term in the first date or two. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all are thinking about the vagina, not thinking about whether she makes a good wife.
Gotta see if it works first. Gotta see if it works first.
Because if you're thinking about if she's a good wife, then you have to ask the questions: how's your credit? What do you own? What do you do? Those are things that have to be asked. If you're looking at this person as a potential mate for a long time, there are certain things that you're gonna need to know about their finances and their credit.
Well, sometimes, you could do that, but sometimes it don't even matter sometimes to a man, because a lot of times, like I said, men are work driven. So a lot of times if the man can do it by himself and on his own, this and that, he's just gonna take the woman right with him, or he just gonna leave them kind of separate on like what you was talking about. So it'll be like a separate scenario, like I can afford to do this and that, and we are together, but I'm still work driven. And if you decide to get on this ride, cool. And if you don't decide to get on this ride, peace. And, and that's just how we go.
Right. Let's talk about that ride. And the second topic tonight. The second topic is being your lover's wingman. Everything together. Vacation together, nut together, look at other bitches together. What could be better?
It sounds good. Sounds real nice. How many times men be out places and you with your lady? Now, this is probably an unwritten rule. We both see the individual. Mm-hmm. I know she fine. You know she fine. Mm-hmm. Instead of the woman looking at the other woman, she looking at you.
To see if you looking at her.
Yeah. It's like, this motherfucker walked by. I know what she look like, but I'm finna see what he say. It would be nice to have a woman with you that would probably even put you up on game and be like, babe, check out, look what she got on. But I don't think a lot of times when we out, we receive that. Or we receive it's a trick. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we'll be like, I ain't falling for this because you want me to look over here, and then later on when you bring this up, it's going to be a fight because I decided to look at some pups. So
it's weird because this relationship, this topic for me still coincides with the first topic of being in a relationship with a powerful guy. When I was with this guy that had a lot of money, I had to approach that relationship different because he had money. So that's really weird that I'm even saying that after the debate that we just had. I treated him differently and I approached things differently. We happened to be on South Beach together and we were in a vehicle and it was Memorial Day weekend and the traffic was at a standstill. We both had on shades and this beautiful, like the girl didn't really have anything on. Like I saw everything and she had on a pair of roller skates. And it was like, it was floss, right? Floss and skates. It looked like she was going in slow motion in front of the motherfucking truck. And I was just like, I will say for a moment, what am I going to do? Because I know if I'm looking, he's looking. How am I going to handle this? I can't pretend like he's not looking because I can't even pretend. So I said in that moment, God damn, that bitch fine. And it changed really the dynamic of our relationship going forward, because we could now do that all weekend. Hell, it was Thursday night when we got there. He was amped as fuck. We hit on Monday and we looking at bitches together. It just changed the dynamic of our relationship, and it changed that vacation because now he felt free to be who he is when he's with his boys. And I say this often, anybody that really follows me and has watched me do podcasts over the years, it's one of my big things that my guy is the same that he is with me as he is with his friends. And I don't mean like the for real, like I'm not looking for the right word, because I actually do mean the camaraderie. If you are with your homeboys and you're having a good day at the beach and you saw about 100 bad bitches and it's all y'all been talking about for 3 hours, if you come home and now say nothing about the bad bitches, nothing about the beach, I'm not your friend. You completely changed what you were thinking, who you were with, the whole nine.
So let me ask you this right now, because you got some females looking at you like, this bitch crazy. Right now, what would you tell them? What would you tell them? Like, just suggestions. What would you tell them?
That a motherfucker watch movies all day talking about that can never be me. But it is, y'all. Y'all sleeping with the enemy. You don't know who you're with. Because he cannot be who he is most of the time with you. He has to come home and be the Christian guy that prays 24 hours a day, which he doesn't, because as soon as he leaves the house, he playing plies, not Freya Hammond. You understand what I'm saying? But he plays Freya Hammond around you because you're holy, and he feels like plies is going to offend you. So he waits and he puts plies on the car. And you're not dating the same people. You are dating the person that he thinks you want him to be. And I think that's really sad. It's sad for you because you're sleeping with the enemy, and it's really sad for him because now he's in a relationship with somebody he can't even be himself around. That's whack as fuck. Whack as fuck.
So what about the women that say, I don't need to know that type of stuff? If he saw some fine bitches today, I don't want to know, because they might feel a little insecure. Because I'm going to say this. Even though we talking about that a lot of times, let's just say, for instance, like I'm with my lady, and then a fine bitch roll by. But she knows, she don't look like that. Like, she may be confident, but then it might be another woman that walk by and be like, well, shit, I don't look shit like that. So you, like, Google eyes on this bitch, but you don't look at me that way. So what would you say to that?
First of all, you are not every woman. I know Shaka Khan said it, but that's not true. That she didn't mean it that way. You are not every woman. There's going to be a woman out there that's badder than you, faster than you, richer than you, smells better than you. There's nothing you can ever do about that. What you can do is now get your shit together. Make sure you checking in at the gym. Make sure you going to get your hair and your nails done. Make sure you're updating your perfume stash. Do everything you can do to be the best you can be. Because at the end of the day, if a person leaves you for being your best you, fuck him. But if he leaves you because you were comfortable being a scrub and was mad because he was looking at a 10, then that's on you, baby. You got to do your part. You have to do your part. You have to do your part. You can't be mad because that bitch is doing her part. She's doing her part. Y'all both looking.
Okay, so
she on her shit.
So no hating going on.
You can't.
You can't hate.
You cannot. You can't hate, and you cannot expect your man to be Jesus Christ. There's only one man you could trust to love you unconditionally. That's with boogers in your nose, poor, broke, and homeless. That's Jesus. No one else is going to love you that way.
Might have to circle back to that, since I'm not agreeing with that one.
It's the truth.
I got you, but some shit I think keeps sacred. Like when you fart, go to the bathroom.
I get that. I get that.
I dated someone for a long time. I never knew when she took a shit. Like, never knew. Like, she hid that shit well, but I appreciated that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to know that shit. I know we all do it, but
okay.
If you can keep it secret, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I'll say this. There are things out there that can be life-altering to your situation.
I agree.
Okay? I'm taking it to a serious place. Like, seeing women on the beach seems so small and so petty, and I don't need to know that. But now you might find your man going to the beach every weekend. Okay? Now, not only he going every weekend, now he's making a special trip to the beach on Tuesday without his homeboys, which might mean he's meeting someone else, someone he met on the beach. So I'm saying there are little
Taco Tuesday.
I'm telling you that by being that closed off, I don't need to know this and I don't need to know that. You might be helping to create a situation that doesn't need to be coveted. If he can come home and just tell you what he saw today and how it made him feel, then y'all together can go to the beach and look at bitches, or she can get the same bathing suit that you dig so much. But there's something that she could do to be a part of what is making you so aroused instead of ignoring it and letting it fester.
So now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because I typically don't do this. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because this is how some women might challenge you. Some women might challenge you and say, okay, that's cool. If I want to go to the beach and he go look at some tens, what if I want to go roller skating and look at some niggas? Like, should my man follow me?
I think that everybody's needs should be met. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I can't be too I'm not her. I've never needed lots of male energy. I need one male energy. But I will say this: if you are focused on meeting the needs of your man, then your man needs to be focused on meeting your needs as well. And if your needs include other men, then either we make that happen in a way that's okay with you, or we separate. Because it could be as easy as, hey, I'm married to a white guy, but I like black cock, and she comes out and says that. Well, then that means we gonna take all this porn, throw it in the trash, and we gonna go buy all black cock porn. You just fix the problem. Instead of her finding her way on a piece of black dick for real, you're now taking the steps to get her involved in getting some black cock. Maybe it's just porn and virtual, but I'm just using something basic. It's getting your partner involved in something that could be really big and detrimental to your relationship later.
I definitely agree. Sometimes, because I think some people be in scenarios, and I think ego plays a lot of it plays a lot into consideration and stuff like that. A lot of times when I say the word wingman, if we can hunt pussy together, that would be nice. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be penalized also for not looking a lot of times. Like, I remember, and it doesn't really happen to guys, it don't really happen to guys all that often. It probably more happen to women, where women will be with their significant other, and then a woman will go by and it'll be like, oh shit, I know that bitch fine. There's no way on earth he's not looking at that. You know what I'm saying? But, and like I said, it don't happen to guys too often. But I remember, you know what I'm saying, on probably 2 occasions, and I wasn't, physically, but just to see women riled up a little bit. I remember being in the movie theater, and I was looking at The Best Man. And theater was kind of silent, first coming on this and that. And Morris Chestnut walked on the screen, and all the women in there was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, like, it was an eye opener for me, because I ain't think women look at men like that. It was like a Greek god walked in, and like every woman in there like took a deep breath. It was like waiting to exhale. Woo, you know what I'm saying? So, and that don't typically happen to guys. You know what I'm saying? We're not around a woman and then they damn near fainting. You know what I'm saying? Like over.
And you're in on it, like,
yeah. And then
I know that man fine.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there because it's like we kind of
awkward.
Yeah, it's like, am I gonna swallow my ego to be like, yeah, alright, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the gym too.
I hate to be this way, but because it would be a double standard, and I don't want to be someone who says it's okay to have a double standard. But I'm gonna, for transparency of the show, the way that made me feel when you said it was, I almost feel like men need the type of support and camaraderie from their women. I don't think women need that from their men when it comes to something visual like that. I believe that we I don't think I would whistle at a guy or react to another man in front of my spouse. I don't think I need that. Him, I think it's hard to control. I think it's innate. It's nature for you guys. It's nature it's a big thing that a man can't be with one woman because it's his nature. But I'm having the same conversation here. It's your nature to have an outwardly reaction to a beautiful female. It is not a woman's nature to be like, God damn. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? We be like,
you just jumped out the screen.
You know, oh, sorry. I may have to say that again. So I feel like men need that type of support because you don't see women walking down the street like, God damn, he fine. That's not our culture. We don't do that. We have another way of communicating that men are sexy. I mean, we have this whole thing like, fuck girl, or grabbing our chest,
but they didn't
or clapping our hands, or something low key.
They didn't do that. It was
because it was a movie.
But it was low key. But just to let you know, it was low key. But it was the collective of women. So I was able to hear a collection. It wasn't like they hooping and hollering. It was just like you hear a collection of exhaling.
Again, it was a movie. In real life, I don't feel like in that moment it was kind of awkward. Because let's
not true. I'm gonna tell you why. Not true. So I said that exactly what you said. Like, hey, that might have, hey, that's some movie shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It could be. That is not movie shit. For real. Because I actually experienced that in real life. Like, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? Which is my cousin. I've actually seen my cousin walk into a room and women heart stop. Like, literally stopped, looked, who was that? Touching people. Like, who was that? You know what I'm saying? That ain't no movie shit. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Now, it sounded like that couldn't have happened, but it did.
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe it,
but it did.
Statistically, though, still, if you take and line up 10 women,
Sorry,
and 10 men, 10 women and 10 men, and you have people shuffling through this line, men and women who are 10s, you're going to see a more physical reaction from the guys than you're gonna see from the women.
I believe that. I'm not saying that it. I'm not saying that's not happening. I'm definitely giving you that, but I'm just saying that ain't no movie shit about like women can come out their bodies for a certain individuals.
Right.
Because to me, someone like Morris Chestnut, Ralph Angel, there's certain individuals that just bring that, you know what I'm saying, that just bring that out of certain people. And I'm just saying, it's a guy a lot of times, like, and I wasn't hating and no shit like that. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, this is what women like. Because I think the justification from a man versus a woman is two different reactions. Because for men, that was my really first time being like, okay, damn, this is what women like. You know what I'm saying? And I think for women look at other women and then that's automatically competition. You know what I'm saying? So it turns into like a little cat fight. And if the guy, especially your guy, you know what I'm saying, if he turned to his woman, which you saying that, I want her to be my friend and be like, damn, that bitch straight. But that shit come up later in fights and shit, you know what I'm saying? Well, won't you tell that bitch to get your drink? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what happened? you get blindsided because you were trying to be honest, and that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes when guys become like real honest, because we'll say to ourselves like, well, this possibly couldn't get me in trouble because I just admitted to looking at, you know what I'm saying, Megan Good and being like, well, damn, this lips is sexy, you know what I'm saying? And later on, you know what I'm saying, I'm chilling and like, baby, give me something to drink. Won't you ask Megan to get you that drink? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. That happens to guys a lot.
I will say this. I will say relationships that people's partners are their wingman are relationships that are healthy. In most cases. These are relationships where jealousy is an issue. This is a relationship where the woman is confident in herself. These are more often than not are people who have healthy relationships. They're not broken and out looking together because they're trying to fix some shit, which is very popular. Like, people will participate in shit to help fix their relationship, and that's not gonna fix it. Your relationship has to be completely healthy to really embark on that friendship shit, because that friendship shit gonna show you who you really with. That friend gonna tell you what his weakness is. But damn, I get weak at this shit. A person that wants you to just know his representative is gonna present himself like he doesn't have a weakness, and that's a problem for me, because I know there is no man on this planet without one. So if I meet a man that I'm find myself telling my parents and my friends how perfect he is, I'm in trouble. because he has found a foolproof way of protecting his weakness and his flaws. And I don't want a man that is not showing me that, hey, yeah, I do know Jesus, I was baptized, but every now and then I like to have me a good old nasty threesome. That's the nigga I want to be with.
Oh, nasty one.
Yes, that's the guy I choose.
Okay.
Because the other guy is going to keep going to church with me and Bible study with me, and now he got a collection of bitches he's sleeping with, and now he's putting me at risk. Because he can't come home and have a real conversation with me. No, thank you. I would rather be kind of jealous or kind of, I don't know, in a bad mood or have an attitude about another bitch versus laying in the hospital dying over another bitch. No, thank you. One extreme to another. I choose it. You gotta choose your lesser evils because there are no Jesuses walking around waiting to find you. He's not here, he's there. So you have to expect that every person that you meet and date is gonna be imperfect.
And just to clarify, we're talking about, and like I said, even though I'm using the word wingman, that doesn't necessarily I'm talking about being a wingman and catching another female.
Right, just being able to look with your spouse.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm just saying, like, being out and about and looking. Now, fellas, if you can take it to another level, you know what I'm saying, is with it, you know what I'm saying, because my weakness is titties, you know what I'm saying, y'all, yeah, I take DMs and stuff like that if y'all want to show them. Nah, yeah, being a wingman, I just really feel like, I think you have some women that would be cool with it, but I do feel like majority of the women are gonna be like, I ain't with that shit. Like, they prefer not to know. They prefer.
I don't see how in this climate a person can say that with a straight face. Not to know. I would say they just don't want the man to see all that. But to say I just don't want to know, I don't think I know a woman that would just say that out loud, that I will be with a man and I just don't know what he's doing.
Well, they're not gonna say the word they don't know, but it's like a lot of times. Like, I done been out a lot of times with my homeboys and we'll just be out, you know, couple dating or whatever, this and that, and a woman will walk by. Now, all the guys know what woman just walked by or about to walk by, and then you look at the woman. It's always that one woman like, fuck around and look, yo. Fuck around and look.
That person, and that guy has probably a very miserable life at home.
We all know that.
That woman is gonna end up by herself.
And we all know that, and that's what I'm saying. So even though you're saying like you don't really feel there's a lot of women that won't, there always is. I'm not saying that they don't know, but it's like they make it known by that anger that they got in them that they'll let them know, like, you know, I know the bitch fine and this and that, but you
respect me enough not to look. Now, when we were coming, and I knew that this was going to be the topic, I felt like
I'm looking out my peripheral.
I felt like the people who know me and know my upbringing, like if they're watching me, like my aunts and things like that, they would be like, she's right. They're not going to disagree with me. However, they're going to bring up the word respect. I'm not saying that men should be allowed to be disrespectful. I actually think being able to come home and tell your wife that you had another conversation or were attracted to another woman is a sign of respect, but there's a thin line. There's a very thin line, and I don't even know really what that thin line or that blurred line is, but it's there.
And that's what I'm about to say.
It's definitely there.
Because sometimes guys might give it, as you say, that old college try. And
do too much.
And they try to, and well, it's not that they trying to be extra. It's just that you be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and give this friendship shit a try. You know what I'm saying? Since you always, because women always, you know, women always talking about talk to me. Talk to me. So y'all pick and choose what y'all want to talk about now. Because when we start talking about females and sex and shit like that, we're talking, but y'all don't consider that talking. You know, you want to know some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was your day? My day was fucked up. I don't feel like talking about that shit. But, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think men are just, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I think even
anytime someone start off like that, it's finna get disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful. It's more men, when it comes to women, I feel like have a level of immaturity. I'm going to use an example. Just an example because it just happened. I don't have a problem with it. But you might have a spouse that doesn't mind you looking at other women, but she also doesn't want you, like, telling the whole world, well, it's okay to send titties to my DM. That's extra. First of all, you shouldn't be saying no shit like that. Don't say shit like that. Like, If a bitch send titties to your DM, great. She did that on her own. But for you to advertise that it's cool to send titties to my DM, that's what bitches call extra. It's a turn off. I wouldn't send a nigga, if he said that on the video anyway, I'd be like, I ain't sending that nigga shit. Because that's corny as fuck to me. I wouldn't want somebody to tell me it's okay for me to send my pussy or my titties to his DM. If I send it to you, like if I'm checking my man's phone, I'm like, damn, this bitch sent you some titties? That's great. She sent you some titties. But if you asked for the titties, I might have a problem with that. I call that being extra. And I feel like men just don't know the line. They cross from mature king to immature boy within seconds. And sometimes it's insane because you could have a real king and a pair of titties will make him act like he in the fucking 6th grade. It's just fucking breasts, bro. Like, can you keep your kingness? Don't come out the little boy over some damn titties. That's a turn off for women. Women don't want to see that. Women, it's a different seeing a woman throw herself at her guy because her guy is that nigga versus him being thirsty out there looking at everything. Yeah, that's cool. My girl, she cool with that. What's up? Like, no one wants to be around a guy like that. I don't want to be around a guy like that. That's a turn off for me. So again, it's a real thin line. Like, I'm allowable and I'm open and I'm my homeboy's, I'm my guy's friend, but I don't want him to be disrespectful. And I think that's where the line crosses from respect to disrespect when that immaturity level actually goes below 5.
This is the thing I'm going to say. Women have a crazy level of which don't make sense level. See, a lot of times, like, I'm on a show, so I'm able to do shit like that, just like most people that's on the show. You take something like, let's say, like Kim Kardashian. You know, she'll get up there and be half naked and all this type of shit, and then y'all bitches wonder why motherfuckers jump in y'all DM when y'all posting sexy pictures, which I call is like a crazy level of just like loss or hit with a brick. Because y'all sometimes sit there and say, well, just because I'm just zip. We done let you blabber enough. You know what I'm saying? Zip it. Now, a lot of times, I give this example. You absolutely right. You can say all that immature shit that we want to do and say, hey, I don't really allow that, this and that. And women are totally fine. You can dress in a floss, have your titties out, do all that type of shit, and you able to say, well, just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean that I need to be considered to be a hoe, or you think that I'm easy, or be any of the above. But that can be a lot confusing. That's like me being in the hood and I'm in a cop uniform. And someone run up to me and say, hey, help me. And I say, well, just because I'm dressed in this uniform does not make me a cop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of examples that I use when you use shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It might not make sense to a lot of people, and it typically don't, but this is the world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? So while we on this show, I can ask all the DMs that I want just because that's what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? If they decide to use it, fine. If not, cool. At the same point in time. Now, we just talking about wingmen, you know what I'm saying? It's Wingman Show Relations. It's your boy 51 Straight. Hey, you can reach me on both platforms.
You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, and IG at Kayla Lassiter.
Hey, both platforms. Hey, y'all looking for the shirts, Alpha Male God Creation. Leave comments. Join watch parties on YouTube at 8 p.m. I want to thank all of y'all once again. Peace.